Hello, my name is Don Hollifield, and welcome to Interesting World Documentary, The Early Years. You will see a lot of events that happened between the year 1944 and 1982 in America. I know, it's kind of an American video of the early years of computers. Not that there wasn't computers in other countries. This just doesn't pertain to those. Let me set the stage for what you're about to see. At the time, nobody thought it would have the impact it did on our society and our culture and our world and our medicine and our transportation, maybe communication, but beyond that, I don't think they realized the impact. And the fact that where we are now, it's the information age. Until the said point that they made issue out of it on CBS when the election of Eisenhower was not shown on CBS network because they didn't trust the computer. That'll be in this video. And other key events that happened during these early years before I was even born. I was born in 1957, right down the road. We didn't have ceilings. We had a TV we watched for the news only, and the rest of the time was record player. I don't even remember radio. It was a record player. I don't remember a radio even in the car in the early years. And I remember going to a jukebox at the local juke joint is what my parents called it. And they had a jukebox, and that's where I listened to music. Well, what I'm getting at is I had no idea computers existed until around 6 months after I got married in 1977. And a friend of mine was explaining logic symbols in binary code. And my new bride had taken a course in key punch. She found out there was no more key punch from the instructor, who suggested she find another gig and another class to take. But I had just started class at the local college, and I couldn't quit. I mean, I just started, she just started, so she took the class, and that's how I got involved in the computers. And sit back, get some popcorn, and enjoy what I enjoyed about the early years of computers.
August 7th, 1944. The opening of the computer age. IBM at Harvard University unveiled the Mark I with 1,600 digits of internal storage.
The Unityper has a special keyboard, a regular typewriter keyboard, plus a special numeric keyboard for high-speed typing of numerals, and a bank of special keys for operating a control device, which facilitates transcription by the typist. The keyboard, as we see here, is attached to a unit that turns each keystroke into electrical impulses. These impulses form patterns of magnetic dots on UNIVAC's metallic tape.
This is weather, one of nature's ever-changing mysteries. It affects every one of us every day of our lives, and yet we know relatively little about it. Weather, that's something we'd all like to do something about, isn't it? And so tonight we've brought you down here to Remington Rand's New York Computing Center. in order that we might show you that something actually is being done about it. The hero of our story tonight is the giant electronic brain developed by Remington Rand, UNIVAC. Now, recent experiments show that future use of UNIVAC may give us faster and more accurate weather predictions than were ever possible before.
Good evening, everyone. This is Walter Cronkite speaking to you from CBS Television Election Headquarters here in New York City.
Scientists and leaders of industry knew since World War II we were in the information age. Tonight, everyone knew.
Let's turn to that miracle of the modern age, the electronic brain UNIVAC, and Charles Collingwood.
This is the face of a UNIVAC. A UNIVAC is a fabulous electronic machine which we have borrowed to help us predict this election from the basis of the early returns as they come in. UNIVAC is going to try to predict the winner for us just as early as we can possibly get the returns in.
The term electronic machine would soon be replaced by computer.
But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about the theory of this. This is not a joke or a trick. It's an experiment. We think it's going to work. We don't know. We hope it'll work. At any rate...
No one knew at the time that in less than 25 years, the average person could buy their own computer.
Can you tell us what your prediction is now on the basis of the returns that we've had so far? Have you got a prediction for us, UNIVAC? I don't know. I think that UNIVAC is probably an honest machine, a good deal more honest than a lot of commentators who are working, and he doesn't think he's got enough to tell us anything about yet. But we'll be back with him later in the evening. Now back to Walter.
UNIVAC correctly predicted Eisenhower's landslide, but skepticism and naysayers prevailed, and it was censored.
This is where America's peace of mind begins. Around the clock, radar's electronic eyes watch the skies and report what they see to SAGE, Defense System of the United States Air Force. Here is a SAGE center on 24-hour alert. At its heart is a computer developed by a research team from MIT and IBM working with the Air Force. The SAGE computer speeds the information for decisions by man in our missile age. Every scheduled flight across American frontiers is recorded ahead of time on IBM punch cards, then fed into the SAGE computer. Now the computer can draw a picture of what is supposed to be in the sky at any moment. It continually compares this expected picture with the real picture as seen by radar. If a flying object does not belong, it appears on this viewing screen. There's one now at the right of the screen. They call it a blip. Unknown flying object. Friend or foe? Within seconds, the Air Force will know. The officer fires a light gun at the target blip. This tells the computer to track the object. At the launching site, a long-range Bomach missile is ready for firing. Now they ask the computer to calculate an intercept point. X marks the spot where the Bomach missile would meet the moving target if fired immediately.
Processing that requires job economy. IBM brings you a new concept in general-purpose accounting, the all-new IBM 1401 data processing system. It's fast, it's powerful, it's compact, it's versatile, and it gives you much more value for your data processing dollar. Never before has so much powerful processing ability been built into such a low-cost system. The IBM 1401 system is comprised of these three units. The 1401 processing unit, which houses the arithmetical, logical, and input-output functions and controls the entire system through stored programming. The 1402 card read punch, which utilizes proven components of other IBM machines and delivers the fastest combined card input and output in IBM history. The 1403 printer, a new milestone in high-speed printing with increased document throughput, the true measure of printing production.
Spring 1963. Across the nation, the Big B signals action and progress. Burroughs Electro Data Division, Pasadena, California. Visitors to this modern plant find the company's newest and finest data processing systems impressively displayed in 2 new exhibit rooms. This B5000 was designed so that its electronic hardware works in perfect coordination with recently developed computer programming languages. This unique working blend of electronic hardware and language software results in extremely efficient operation, a strong advantage for the B5000.
This is System 360. And so is this, and this, and this. A single system featuring unprecedented performance range, new microelectronic circuitry, over 8 million characters of core storage, encompassing the needs of science, industry, business, and government.
This, the Century 100, was the origin of the species, so to speak. The Century 100 offered, for the first time in the history of electronic data processing, a complete data processing system, including magnetic files, input-output devices, and advanced memory. A complete computer system, in other words, with a level of performance never before equaled in its price range. Moreover, the Century 100 also provided the medium-scale computer user and the large-scale computer user to an inexpensive satellite system, linkable online to larger systems. The Century 200, considerably faster and more sophisticated as you might expect, offered, in addition to the nanosecond speeds of the 100, a multi-programming system at a fraction of the cost of competitive systems. An online real-time system, again at a fraction of the cost of this feature on competing systems, and a 1,500 to 3,000 line per minute printer, one of the fastest on the market.
And saw this popular electronics magazine, and it was kind of, in a way, you know, good news, bad news. Here was someone making a computer around this chip in exactly the way that Paul had talked to me, and you know, we thought about what kind of software could be done for it, and it was happening without us. And for all we knew, maybe they had some software people. They were just going to go charge off and do this thing. And so we wrote this company immediately and offered to do a basic for them. And they thought that was interesting. They called back and said, well, you're serious? You know, we have a lot of strange people calling us, because this article received immense interest. I mean, the idea of a kit computer, even though there was really nothing you could do with it.
You're looking at a small portable computer called the IBM 5100. It's helping a lot of different people do their work more productively.
Managing real estate investments entails many difficult decisions. Do I pay it now or later? What about the landscaping? Can we afford it? What about taxes? There are many, many difficult decisions to make. It's really nice having a computer to help.
It weighs about 50 pounds. You can plug it in anywhere.
Bad weather, late deliveries, construction delays of all kinds. How is it going to affect our schedule? Now we can find that out fast.
The 5100 can help handle some very complex information.
Using an Apple II is very easy. The only hard part is getting your kid away from it. You see, Apples are the leading computers in schools, so even though you bought it to help you work at home, your kid will want to use it for his own homework. Of course, if all else fails, there's one last thing you can try. Get him an Apple of his own.
Stephanie decides there. Now, do you ever feel that you're just not keeping up with the 20th century, that your life is being controlled by big brother computers? Well, then think again, because 1978 could be the year you get your own back. Because if, like me, you're distinctly suspicious of computers, especially other people's, the answer is buy your own. Well, this spring, 2 home computers have come onto the British market. And instead of costing thousands of pounds, they cost as little as £499. Now, they've already been launched in the States, and they're selling there in their thousands each month. So what do you get for your money? Well, first of all, this is the one that costs £499. It's the Tandy computer. As you can see, there's a small television set here, a little keyboard here to type out your messages, and here is just a little cassette recorder, the sort of thing any of us would have in the home, with an ordinary little cassette inside. Alongside it here is the PET computer. Now this one costs a bit more, it's £695, but you can see why. It's all in one piece, it's more sophisticated, it can remember much more than the other one. But now it's waiting for me to see if I can operate it, and I suppose this really is the test, because if I can operate this, anyone can.
The person who goes to work may not have far to go. But at the Hat of the Month Club, the boss better keep moving. To keep the books, organize the files, write the letters, check out the inventory, find time to create, and still keep on top of things. Yet even a thriving business can reach a point of diminishing returns. A good time to learn about the IBM personal computer. With this tool for modern times, a person can quickly master such jobs as accounting or word processing. Even use the IBM personal computer to forecast growth. All helping the business person at home to wear many hats, while selling even more. And that can be a feather in anyone's cap. The IBM personal computer. Try one on at a store near you.
Timex brings the power of the computer within reach of more people than ever before. Introducing the Timex Sinclair 1000, the first of a new generation of computers designed to be easier to use and to own. For $99.95, power to learn at the speed of light, power to organize with unfailing accuracy. The Timex Sinclair 1000, power is within your reach.
IBM calls this a personal computer and says a person can afford it, yet it's over $1,500. Apple says computing is a revolution that can't be missed, but at $1,530 you could miss it. Atari says computers are now within reach. Well, the Commodore 64 has more built-in memory than the others, and it's under $600. So, while everyone else talks about the revolution that's coming, you can experience the revolution that's here.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives we have created for the first time in all history. A garden of pure ideology where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of being contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people. One will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.